Hi, you're listening to the explanation of the Listening with Attention exercise, an exercise for your brain from Innerleaps. Here we explain how this exercise works and what it does for you. You've almost certainly had this happen. Someone starts telling you about their day, and before the first sentence is even finished, your head is already on an email you forgot to send. You heard the words, but you couldn't say what they actually meant. That's hearing without listening. In the previous exercises, you pointed your flashlight inward, at your breath, at your body, at your thoughts. In this exercise, you turn it around, because now you point your flashlight outward, at your surroundings and at the sounds that are there. Here's how it works. You sit down and you play the exercise through a speaker rather than earbuds. If you do use earbuds, switch noise canceling off, because it filters out exactly the sounds you're going to practice with. You start with a quick scan of your body, from the soles of your feet up to the crown of your head. Then you anchor your attention in your breath, and after that, you open up to the sounds around you. You're not going looking for sound, you simply let in whatever comes in. What you're practicing here is observing. Just as with observing thoughts, you don't go along with what passes by, and you don't let a sound carry you off. You don't have to name what it is, and whether you find it pleasant or annoying doesn't matter. You notice it, and you let it go again. It can help to label a sound briefly as a tone: dull, sharp, high, low, far away, close by. That keeps you in the observing rather than in the story about it. You notice that sounds arrive, stay for a moment, and go again, and you can notice the silences in between, too. Your breath is your anchor in this. If you notice you've drifted off anyway, come gently back to your breath, and then point your flashlight outward again. But why sound? When your thoughts wander, your brain turns the incoming signal down. The sound still reaches your ears, but it doesn't land. And exactly the same thing happens to the words of the person in front of you. What you train here is keeping that signal switched on. And there's something else. Your senses can only pick up the present moment, so whatever you hear is by definition now. That's why listening keeps bringing you back to the here and now, out of the thoughts about yesterday and tomorrow. You probably know what it's like to go out for a walk to clear your head. But instead of your head clearing, you play that one conversation over and over, and half an hour later, you're standing at your own front door without having seen or heard a thing. You went for the walk, but you got nothing out of it. Or you're sitting outside somewhere with a friend, and you catch half of what they say because your attention is on your phone. This is exactly what the exercise trains. In the exercise, you open up to the sounds around you. In real life, you hear the wind on that walk, the traffic, a bird, and for a moment, you're really there. In a conversation, two things can go wrong. Your attention slides away, so the words stop landing, or the conversation gets tense, feedback lands as criticism, and your warning system fires. Your working memory then fills up with your own defense, and there's no room left for what's actually being said. Take this example. Your partner says, "You're never home." Your alarm fires. You hear, "You're a bad partner." You fire back with, "I work hard for us." And 10 minutes later, you're arguing about something that doesn't matter at all. What you train here is noticing that stress response while it's still rising. The tight jaw, the quickened heartbeat. You notice it, you take one conscious breath, and you point your flashlight back at what the other person is saying. Then you hear what's underneath it, which is that they miss you, and that spiral never gets going. People who feel genuinely heard get less defensive, and they're more willing to say the thing that needs saying. So your steadiness steadies them. 3 things help in a conversation. Check in with yourself once. Am I still here with this person? Take one conscious breath before you reply and say back what you understood. If I've got it right, you're saying that. So, point your flashlight outward and let sound come in without making anything of it. Notice when you've drifted and come back to what there is to hear right now, in the exercise and in your life. Good luck training, and remember, you don't listen better by trying harder, but by keeping enough room to receive.